Okay, it all began 60 years ago. We're talking about dreams and visions, and a young man, a young God-fearing man named Dave Wilkerson, walked into the streets of New York right in the midst of the heroin epidemic and wanted to make a difference. It was quite chaotic, the drug scene back then. There was crime, obviously, big gangs, of which he walked right into the middle of, and it's very territorial. And some of the most famous guys who turned their whole lives around were part of a feared gang back then called the Mau Mau's. I think Dave Wilkerson had a dream just to reach into the brokenness of the young men and women, the seemingly helpless situation that they found themselves in, that they found their identity in gangs and who they believed were people there that supported them and loved them and somewhere they could call home, brothers and sisters, so to speak. But it was very far from the truth. And he saw their brokenness and the actual hopelessness of the guys and the girls, and they're caught up in the judicial system and off to jail for who knows how long. But here we are, 60 years after Dave Wilkerson walked onto the streets of New York, and what a massive global organisation Teen Challenge has become. I'm just thankful that our founder, Dave Wilkerson, was able to dream audacious dreams. You know, he had great vision. And I think he always knew that there was more, that there's going to be more than just one centre in New York. Although maybe he couldn't envisage it, maybe he could envisage half a dozen centres, maybe 10, maybe 20. But I doubt whether he could have envisaged 1,400 centres in over 122 countries. So this year is 60 years since Teen Challenge started globally, 1958 as I mentioned before, back in New York, and fast forward to the 70s, and it's about 40 years here in Australia. So we started off as a drop-in centre. Well, actually, if I go before that, Teen Challenge started in Queensland and quickly moved to New South Wales, and as a drop-in centre in King's Cross. And then from King's Cross, we ended up at a men and women's residential centre at Mangrove Mountain. Fast forward to Chester Hill, and then since 2007, we've been out at Yarramundi with our men's residential property. And a drop-in centre, what would that look like? Probably men and women, if they needed some help, some respite, some glimmer of hope, was there a way forward? That's what Teen Challenge was there for. It was hardly what you'd call a residential rehabilitation, but it was a start, and it has born out of the heart of people who really wanted to make a difference in the life of those people that were really hurting because of what they've experienced in life. Here we are in 2018, sitting out at Yarramundi. Since 2007 we've been here, as I mentioned before. And I think back to Dave Wilkerson, and could you imagine being outside of America? I guess not, but here we are. And I think the reason that we are here is because of dreamers, which I call actually dream carriers and vision supporters. So it's all right for people like me to dream and have the vision, but we really need people to carry that, people who are like-minded, people who want to get behind the cause. And we're here today because of dream carriers and vision supporters. Well, we've been speaking about dreams and vision, and as you all know, we're here tonight because of our current dream and our current vision, which is opening our much needed Women's Centre. It's something we wanted to do for many, many years, but everything has to line up, you know, to make it all happen. But just some stats so you understand the enormity of what we're facing. Worldwide, 33% of women make up the mix of all drug users or people with drug and alcohol issues, and yet only 20% are actively seeking help. It's interesting, you know, because every 25 minutes a baby is born suffering from opioid withdrawal. And women don't actively seek assistance because there's nowhere to go with their child. Now the 180TC Centre at the Kermon is initially going to start with women, so we can work out how to run the centre effectively and bring the best loving care for these ladies. But we are going to move as quickly as we can to the next phase, will be women with children. Well, the centre at Kermon is going to have 12 rooms, so straight up we've got 12 ladies, which we can start investing back into. We're going to have a lovely room there with great big sun-drenched windows where they'll be able to sit and casework and reflect. We've got a nice pool, we've got a beautiful deck out the back where they can sit, especially in an autumn afternoon or a winter's afternoon where the sun's coming in, and just hang out and have quiet time or hang out with other girls there. It's going to be a fantastic centre and with a loving environment, And we just can't wait. I'm so excited that we're on the cusp of opening this centre. Okay everybody, I'm so excited to announce we're officially opening the Women's Centre after 2.5 years of having the centre and working up to this date, but we're opening on the 1st of July. We're opening on the 1st of July and there's only one reason for that, because of dream carriers and vision supporters. And what do I mean by that ultimately? Well, I can stand on your shoulders and I can see further than I can ever see before. I can talk to you about my vision and you can help me build on it. You support and you carry and you make this dream and vision become a reality. Now, vision is something which is out there and seemingly you never get it, never bring it back into the current right here and right now, but we've been able to on this occasion, all because of your wonderful support. Thank you, give yourselves the biggest round of applause.